Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. So in the prior videos, we looked at a nominal sentence. We talked about the two major parts of it. Then we looked at what a mawsuf sifa phrase would look like inside of a sentence, and the word jiddan. So if you guys want to brush up on that, feel free to refer back to the prior videos. What we're going to do now is look at what happens when you put an associative phrase inside of a nominal sentence, and then in the next video we'll look at attached pronouns. So what exactly is an associative phrase? Just as a quick review, that's where you have one noun being associated to the noun that comes directly after it. Really all that means is that you're going to drop an of in between and show that this is being associated to this one. So kalb means dog and walad means boy. So this is boy, the dog is being associated to the boy. That'd be translated as the dog of the boy. Right? There's now an association between the two. So the word that's being associated is called mudaf, and the sign of it is that it has no alif lam nor tanween on the end, no double ending, right? And it becomes definite by nature. So we throw a the in the beginning, even though it doesn't have alif lam, because it is associated to something. So we say that it's definite because of association. And if you go back and you check your chart out, you'll see under definiteness that that's one of the signs. It'll be the mudaf in a mudaf ilayh construction. So the sign of the thing that it's being associated to is that, oh, there goes my ad block. Anyway, the sign of the thing that's the sign of a word that it's the thing being associated to is that it goes into a state of jar, which is usually represented by a kasra. So if you want to look out for a mudaf ilayh phrase, all you have to look out for is, are there two nouns? Does the first noun not have alif lam? Does not have tanween? And is the second noun in a state of jar, which is usually represented by a kasra. And if that's the case, drop an of in between. You're dealing with an association. Okay, so let's look at it inside of some sentences. So babul bayti saghirun, right? So these two are going to be inseparable. So they're both going to act as your mubtada. And we know that it's definite because a mudaf by its nature is definite. And we know this is indefinite because it's in a state, because it has tanween on the end, and that's a sign of indefiniteness. So when it comes to matching in gender and number, know that it's going to match back to the mudaf. So we're going to look for the gender in the mudaf, we're going to look for the number in the mudaf, we're going to look for the definiteness in the mudaf, right? And then we'll know if we're dealing with a mubtada khabar fragment. Mubtada khabar sentence, So they match in gender, they match in number, they match in state, they're both in rafa, and this is definite, and this is indefinite. So it'd be translated as the door of the house is small, or it could be translated as the house's door is small. One of the two. So let's look at a more difficult example. Yadu Zaydin qawiyatun. Yadu Zaydin qawiyatun. So we know this is mudaf ilayh. We know this word is being associated to this word because it has no alif lam, has no tanween, and the word coming after it is in a state of jar. So we're going to drop an of in the middle. So now we have to look to see if this is our mubtada based on if it's definite and if this is indefinite. So this is definite because it's a mudaf. This is indefinite because it has tanween. Do they match in gender? Yes. Even though this doesn't have a ta marbuta, it is still feminine because it's body parts in pair, right? So a hand has a pair, so therefore it's going to be feminine. So the thing referring back to it is going to be feminine. They match in number, which is singular, and this is definite, this is indefinite, and they match in state. So this is rafa, and this is rafa. So let's look at another example. Suhufu Musa nafi'atun. It's the same thing going on here. The only thing is that this word is tough to tell if it's in a state of jar. You're just going to have to look at the construction and be able to tell, well, this has no alif lam, it has no tanween. That's weird, we usually don't see it. It's coming with a noun right after it that's fixed because of this alif maqsura on the end. It's always going to look that way, whether it's in a state of rafa, nasb, or jar. So we're just going to say that it's jar because this doesn't have alif lam, this doesn't have tanween, so it's probably a mudaf ilayh. So it'd be translated as the scrolls of Musa, and this is indefinite and it's singular. So you might be wondering, well, why is this singular? I can understand that it's why is this singular? It's because this word here, suhuf, is it's a broken plural. So this is going to be singular and it's going to be feminine because referring to a broken plural, right? And this is definite, this is indefinite, and they're both matching in state. This is rafa and this is rafa. And yeah, assalamu alaikum.